Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies and Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another check-in video. Today we're going to be looking at everything that I've watched and read in this first half of June. Now, this is near the end of the quarter, so I'm reading stuff to decide if I'm going to go on and keep it or not. And I actually already did my own haul, so most of the stuff that I read is basically everything that I read is stuff that I'm going to keep. So there really is no point in waiting. I decided to give up on the idea of reading Tanya the Evil 2, the second volume, anytime soon, because every time I sit down to read it, I just feel like it's too dense, and I don't feel like reading it right now, but I don't want to give it away or get rid of it and sell it before actually reading it, so I'm just gonna take however long it takes me to do that. And screw it, it doesn't really matter. The two books are not really going to make or break my purchases for the coming months, so it doesn't really matter if I get rid of them anytime soon or not. But they aren't really affecting anything, so there's no rush to get rid of them. And yeah, other than that, let's see what else can I talk about before we get into the TV section. So I had a plan about what I was going to buy this month in terms of stuff that I needed to get. And I haven't bought any of it except Wotakoi 6. Everything else, I spent my money on literally stuff that is, in the same vein, finishing up or continuing series that I have. But none of the series that I said I was going to collect. I said I was going to buy Komi 19, Blue Lock 1, although I decided that I don't need to buy it because I already own it digitally, at least the first three volumes. So I can wait and see if I like the volumes, which I'm going to read in August because I'm going to do a sports month in August. In August I can decide, hey, do I want to buy this physically or not? And if the answer is yes, I'll go pick it up at that point. And if not, it's no big deal. I don't really have too much of an issue with, owning digital manga. I don't like it in the sense of like, at any moment they can get rid of it, but like, it doesn't really matter all that much because most of the time when I buy digital manga, it's less than a dollar for everything I buy. Also wanted to get Alice in Borderlands 2. Who knows if I'm going to end up getting it this month. I also wanted to get Colorless and a bunch of other 7 Seas titles, but with the stuff that's going on with 7 Seas, I'm probably not going to buy anything from them until after August, when, they unionize or they don't. That seems to be the day that the vote's going to happen, or that the vote is going to be tallied. And then, sometime in August, there's going to be like a decision about that. So I'm probably not going to buy anything from 7 Seas until then, at least not anything that is brand new. So that's probably going to be the case there. That means that I get a little bit more freedom to buy from other things. And the other thing that I want to buy is Beauty and the Beast, but this hasn't come out yet. So I'm probably going to buy it in a few weeks, but I'll be at my parents' house by then. So I don't know when I'll get around to going to the store. But that's enough about stuff that doesn't relate to what I've been watching, what I've been reading. But I think it's still interesting to talk about and is part of the goal of this video. So yeah, let's get into what I've been watching. So first thing I watched, and the thing that I've been continuing to watch, has been the Obi-Wan TV show. As of this recording, I've watched the first 4 episodes. I love the first one, didn't really care too much about the second one, liked the third one, and had some issues with the fourth one. So it's not been a perfect home run, but it hasn't been completely garbage. And maybe if we're still using baseball analogies, the runner got to third base because it's pretty good, but it's not horrible. However, I don't really like the discourse on the internet about it because Disney preemptively associated not liking the Reva character with being racist, which is wrong. This is not okay. Racism is bad. Disney using this like racist excuse as a way to mitigate the fact that their writing for their character is bad is also bad. Deborah Chow and all of the people that worked on the show had said a lot of things about how they were doing the right thing and they were making sure that there was a reason for the show and stuff like this. And so far we have had no reason for the show because it has not added any substance to the Obi-Wan character at all. It has only basically been like a great bit of fan service. of seeing Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan, which is awesome, but it is not substantive, if that makes sense. It doesn't really have any heft, any meat and potatoes to its meal. You know, it's not a satisfying thing beyond the initial, like, oh my god, Ewan McGregor. And I also am pretty unhappy with the fact that Anakin Skywalker, or Hayden Christensen, has been part of like every bit of marketing ever for the show, and he actually hasn't shown up for more than like 2 minutes in, you know, a 2.5 hour show. And it's kind of upsetting. Like, I really want those Clone Wars flashbacks. I really want, you know, to see Anakin and Obi-Wan discuss their reality and have issues and understand each other and ultimately go back to being evil and good and, you know, set up properly for A New Hope. I have liked the inclusion of Leia. However, sometimes it seems like Leia is more important than Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan show. And I don't like that. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. Reva, whatever her name is, basically is useless. We could have just had the Grand Inquisitor be the main antagonist of the show, and then him fail to get Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then die in Rebels, like the right way to do it, the way that it was supposed to be according to canon. And we could have avoided having a new character. But at the end of the day, that's not what they chose, so whatever. I also have some problems with some stuff that has come out about the one of the writers for the show. He talked about how he wanted to investigate if Obi-Wan knew if Anakin was Darth Vader, and that's like a huge red flag, because in the movie, the third one, Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan clearly sees Anakin being referred to as Darth Vader. So, did this guy not watch those movies? And if he did not watch these movies or know that basic bit of lore, why is he writing this show, right? Like, it's concerning that these things kind of happen, and it's not great. However, the show isn't that bad. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible. So, I don't like the discourse online because it's either complete shitting on the show or complete simping, shilling for the show. And I think that those two sides are not correct. There should be middle ground and nuanced conversation. Of course, this is not really possible on Twitter, but it is kind of really annoying to see like 5 tweets on my timeline, and 3 of them are hating the show and 2 of them are loving it, and they're arguing about the same points in completely different lights. And it's like, bro, obviously the things that the shill people are saying are good are pretty bad, but the people that are against the show are taking it to an extreme that is not, you know, actually realistic. And I don't know, I feel that the lack of nuance about the show is pretty damning, and it makes it kind of not fun to be a Star Wars fan. However, that's just how the internet is. At least this show isn't as bad as the Disney sequels, because I hate those. I mean, I like the first one, and the spectacle of the third one is okay, but the second one is just like character assassination, and it's not great. Also, just Rey having force kill powers immediately makes Anakin irrelevant, and it's really shitty. But anyway, that's Obi-Wan. That's a huge diatribe about Obi-Wan. Then I watched JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, for the people that don't know that abbreviation, episodes 1 through 4. And I like the animation a lot, but the story isn't really all that interesting. Me and my roommates were talking about it, and it was like, oh, they took this from Naruto. Oh, they took this from Hunter x Hunter. Oh, they took this from, you know, Uniqlo or whatever. Like, I don't know. It didn't really feel that impressive or that interesting. It really felt like an amalgamation of a lot of other things. And besides the cool animation, I don't really have anything positive to say about the show, but I don't really dislike it either. It's just very much like turn on the TV, turn off your brain, and enjoy. And I don't really have an issue with any of that. I mean, a lot of shonen is like that, and it's perfectly fine. I don't really have an issue with it. I just don't really feel the need to come back to it anytime soon, and I probably won't because it doesn't feel all that interesting to me right now. I mean, I only watched the first 4 episodes, so maybe there is more to it, but so far there hasn't been any substance. I like the movie better than the first 4 episodes of the anime. So yeah, then I went to watch Top Gun Maverick, and I watched it twice because I liked it that much. I don't know, man. Top Gun Maverick is so cool. The story is awesome. The plot line is not very difficult to understand at all. It's simple enough that there really is no way to mess it up. It's not convoluted. It's so good. It's so enjoyable. The soundtrack is great. The high octane jet engine magic is great. It's so cool. The sound design is so awesome. I really enjoy Top Gun Maverick. It might be my new current obsession. And honestly, if I had any money, I would go watch it again. But I spent it all on comic books and manga this month, so I don't really have any more left to spare, so I can't go watch it again. But I'm definitely going to buy this movie for sure because I really enjoyed it. And I liked the first one well enough. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But the second one is top tier, man. It's some of the best movie going experience I've ever had. It's really, really enjoyable. It's up there in terms of like impact for me compared to something like, Avengers. The scene where they go around the Avengers and they do the carousel thing around the Avengers. It's up there with Endgame. It's up there with Pacific Rim because I love Pacific Rim. There's something about kaijus and Gundam that just makes me really excited. It's up there with, Pirates of the Caribbean 2. It's up there with Star Wars 3 and Star Wars 5. It's really one of the best movies that I've ever seen. I really, really enjoy it. It's very, very cool. I realize that I just mentioned a bunch of franchise movies, and everyone that's a snob about cinema is going to be like, but you haven't mentioned any of the good movies. It's like, well, I don't really care about the good movies. I care about the movies that I like. And then I watched the first episode of Miss Marvel, and I didn't like it. Honestly, I didn't really hate it either. It's just like, it just made me cringe a lot, and I'm not too sure why. I'm not sure that it was because it was a teen drama, because I watched a lot of teen dramas in my day. I don't really have an issue with them. I think that it was a very over-the-top teen drama. I think also it made me cringe because it's a little too relatable to me personally, right? Like, I'm not Pakistani or Asian, like, any of the characters in the show, but Mexican people are pretty similar. We have very, conservative parents and very kind of strict ideas about what you can and can't do, as a boy or a girl. Not so much my parents specifically, mostly just people that I knew. My parents are pretty liberal by all accounts, actually. But there's just a lot of cringe induced by this, connection that I have with the things that are happening on screen, and I don't like it. It's kind of like secondhand embarrassment. And it was not fun, but it wasn't horrible, I guess. I don't know. There's some cool pieces to it. I really like the aesthetic and the way the little drawings were animated and everything. I thought that was really fun. I think that the idea of a brown person being a superhero is cool. A little bit on the nose sometimes, and the TV show was a little bit too hey, I'm brown, look at me. And I don't really like that because I'm brown too, but I don't do that type of stuff. It's really annoying. And, having all of my value be based on my skin tone is kind of shitty. It's also kind of racist, even though it's supposed to be empowering or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting show. I'm probably going to watch the rest of it, but so far I haven't really liked it. So I don't know. But that's all I watched. Let's talk about all the comic books I've read so far. And then we'll talk about all the manga that I've read. And that should be a little bit faster than the TV shows because there's a lot more content for TV shows compared to manga in terms of things that get me talking about them, right? So yeah, let's start with the comic books. I started with Obi-Wan Kenobi Volume 1, or Issue 1. This is a 5-issue series. It's supposed to retell you stuff about Obi-Wan. This first one wasn't really all that interesting. I just got it for the cover more than anything. It talks about Obi-Wan as a child. He has this female friend, and this friend realizes that she has to, go save her dad or something. And so she escapes, and Obi-Wan realizes that, now he has to grow up and be himself. The best part, honestly, was this pretty attractive Dothraki. Not Dothraki, sorry, that's from Game of Thrones. Dathomirian chick, right there. Well, I don't know if she's actually Dathomirian, but she's like a Night Sister race, whatever, like Darth Maul. I can't remember the race of his aliens. And the beginning of this series is pretty cool as well. He starts on Tatooine, which honestly, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show should be on Tatooine more often because, well, he really shouldn't be off-world, but whatever. And then it turns into, Obi-Wan as a child. And then I read Bellet and Valeria, Volume 1, Sword and Sorcery, or Sword versus Sorcery, and I like this a lot. These are two of Conan's most important lovers, if I remember correctly. And they are on an adventure on their own. Bellet has recently been brought back from Davy Jones' locker, and now she wants to figure out why. And she, finds Valeria and tries to get her to help her. And it's pretty interesting. I like it a lot. It's also published by Ablaze, the people that publish The Breaker. And they do really solid work. All of the stuff that they have is very, very good. So, yeah. Then I read Sheena 5 and 6. Sheena is basically Tarzan, but in the modern world, but it's a hot chick. And these two issues kind of help the story along. The fifth one deals with finally getting through the the hunting scenario that they were in, and the sixth one deals with going to find a way to make this area of the forest a World Heritage Site so that the companies can't mess with it. Pretty interesting. Then I read Supermassive, which was an awesome bit of tokusatsu American fun. You have this Psycho Girl Red here, Radiant Black, and Rogue Sun as they team up to fight this weird alien thing that crosses into the dimension of Radiant Black and Rogue Sun. And it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's teenagers and young adults with, alien superpowers fighting monsters that are also aliens. It's very cool. I like it a lot. The best part is this. You see this? Is this cool? Right? Okay. And then it opens up and it's even more cool. And I liked it a lot. Let me see if I can show you guys. There you go. Very, very cool stuff. I like this a lot. More comic books should do this because it's really, really cool. So I'm pretty happy with this and can't wait to read more Radiant Black. I definitely need to see if there's going to be a Psycho Red girl, or right, what's her name? No, Psycho Red is a Power Rangers character, sorry. What's this girl's name? Let's see. No, it doesn't say anywhere. What the heck is her name, man? It's not Psycho Red, but Psycho Girl? Oh, Inferno Girl Red, sorry. I'm curious to see if she has a series, and I have the first 4 issues of Rogue Sun, and I haven't read them yet, but I am going to read them soon, so that's pretty exciting. So that's half the comic books down. Then I read Dark Knights of Steel 6. This is more set up for the battle, and I hope the battle comes soon, because we're halfway through the series. And then we have Bellet and Valeria, issue 2. Pretty cool. Continues on with from the previous issue, and we get to see a lot of very interesting magic stuff. Also, a lot of sapphic undertones, which is pretty fun. And it's an adult comic book, so there's a lot of titties. So be aware if you want to buy it. And Devil's Reign 6 was not really satisfied. I feel like I was missing a bit of information from 5 to 6, but that's probably because I didn't read any of the secondary comic books attached to the series. So maybe I should. I don't know. I'm probably going to get rid of Devil's Reign because I didn't really find it all that interesting. I mean, I liked a lot of the stuff that was set up in the first 3 issues, but the second 3 really didn't really do much for me. Dark Knights of Steel 7. This one's more set up, but this one actually has a lot of action because we get to see Batman team up with the Teen Titans, which is pretty cool. And then Paprika 10, which continues the very fun, really ridiculous Italian soap opera that Mirka Andolfo is doing for us. And I'm pretty happy with how that's going. There's, I think, 2 issues left before the next series, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's all the comic books I've read so far. I'm probably going to end up reading more of them in the next couple of days, but that's it for now. Let's get into the manga now. So let's start with Kengan Ashura 2. Really cool stuff. I love this purple cover, and I really like the cover inside as well. We get to see Oma, I think is his name. The main character's name is Oma, right? Finish off the Ripper character, and then have 2 more fights, if I remember correctly. And one of the fights is with this guy called the Doctor, or something like that. And this Doctor guy is a huge cheat. And that fight was really cool, actually. And then we start another fight with this pro wrestler. And it's really fun. It's really, exciting, and it gets your blood pumping, and it's really cool. And honestly, the most interesting part is the crazy ass techniques that all of the characters come up with, because they're not really superpowers. They're just like wild, like super, like almost superhuman levels of ability, and it's very, very fun. It's really cool. I can't wait for volume 3, because it has one of the few female characters around. As the cover, it's a nice pink color, and I like colors of manga that I don't really have very often. Usually I like purple and green, but I also recently realized that there hasn't been that many pink manga in my collection, and I'm pretty excited to get another one for it. So that's pretty cool. And then I read Isaac 3. Continues to be really cool. I like this blue tone on the spine a lot. And this tells us the backstory of Isaac and Lorenzo, and or Enzo. Yeah, Lorenzo is his Spanish name while he's in Europe. Okay, so Isaac and Lorenzo. And we get to learn why they're fighting each other. Basically, Lorenzo realized that he was not going to be in charge of the blacksmithing business that he was training under, even though he was the lover of the boss's daughter. And he realized that Isaac was the one that was going to be in charge. And he didn't like that, and he also wanted to wage war. He was really interested in the idea of war, and his boss was trying to be a pacifist, even though he was a person that made weapons. And Lorenzo was not okay with that, so he tried to steal both of the things. He killed his master, and he ran away. And now Isaac has to battle him and bring it back, or he's gonna die. And the daughter of his boss is also going to die. She's being held hostage. And it was really interesting. And I also really enjoyed the battles that were happening in Europe at the same time. Really cool stuff. I really like it. It's very, very fun. And Isaac is a really interesting historical fiction manga that I really wish was in English as well. Then we have Komi Can't Communicate 18. It continues to be fun. I really like this cat and mouse game that the girls are playing with Tadano, because, Komi and Mambugi, I think is her name, Mambugu, the gal character, both like Tadano, and they have told each other this, and they're trying to get with Tadano as well, but Tadano's kind of really oblivious, and it's fun, and I like it. Komi Can't Communicate really at this point isn't really a series that makes me happy because it's well written. It's more of a comfort read, and I have no problems with this because I really enjoy the levels of comfort I get from this. There's a lot of nostalgia tied with the earlier volumes, because a lot of them remind me of things I did in high school and in middle school with all of the friends that I had back then. And now it doesn't really do that too much, but it gives me a lot of comfort because it's just really soft and really just easygoing, and I like that a lot. I think it's something that really helps me out when I'm really stressed with school stuff. So I like Komi a lot for that reason, and I'm gonna continue to collect it until it's over. Then Drifting Dragons 9, and this one is really good. I just love Drifting Dragons so much. I love the art style. I saw someone online, I can't remember, I think it was a manga tuber, say that they thought the art style for this was bad, and I was like, what? I didn't comment or anything. I was like, I'm not going to get into an argument with this person over this, but I just thought it was fucking bogus, man. Like, the art style in this is, like, top tier, man. It's, like, so amazing. It's so cool. It's so interesting. The creature design is cool. The mechanical design of the tech is cool. The characters are well done. Everything is awesome. This follows the end of the previous confrontation they had with this dragon, and it introduces the idea of these mythical dragons, with the one that we're following here, Typhon, the Stormbringer, which is this dragon that carries lightning in its back and hurls it at ships and kills them. A very angry dragon. And then we see a city that is very technologically advanced, that is putting up these blips with satellite technology or like radio technology in it, and it's actually affecting the dragons negatively, and then the dragons are being forced to crash down on the city, and the people turn against the dragons. But then this conservationist character here realizes that it's the humans' fault that the dragons are doing this, and it's not the dragons themselves. And it's really interesting. I can't wait to see where it goes from there. I haven't been able to find Volume 10 anywhere, though, so who knows when I'll get around to reading it. But I'm in no rush, since Volume 11 doesn't come out until November, so I still have 4 or 5 months before then. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Drifting Dragons. Then I read Yagan, Volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and man, Yagan is crazy. At the end of the second volume, I didn't really find it to be that interesting. Like, I liked it and I thought it was cool, but I didn't love it. But by the end of the fourth volume, I'm very happy with it. I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. And I'm a third of the way through the series, so there's no point in me stopping now. I'm just going to continue reading all of it as I can. Panini recently released the last volume a few days ago, and I'm pretty excited about that. If I get to Mexico and I have enough cash, I'll probably end up buying the rest of Yagan, just so I can have all of it. I mean, assuming I find it, because Yagan is one of these series that has a lot of volumes out of stock very often in Mexico. So, I don't know, I'm pretty excited about this. But yeah, Yagan it's like Gleipnir and Gantz, but also with the like sociopolitical commentary of like, I don't know, something else. I can't think of a manga off the top of my head that really has that. Yeah, because there really isn't anything that tackles, you know, the social-political aspect of like of happiness and not happiness and stuff like that in any way that it feels similar to me in manga so far, at least not from what I've read. But it's just really interesting. It's really good. The action is really cool. It definitely feels very 3D-esque. It does feel like Gantz, but it does have this kind of self-reflecting kind of idea that kind of Gleipnir has. But I don't know, it's very cool, and I'm really excited to read more of it. I don't really know how to really talk about it and describe it that well, so I'll just leave it at that. Also, the video is becoming really long. So the last things I've read so far are Vinland Saga 1, 2, 3, and the majority of 4, because I read up to chapter 54. This is 55, which is the beginning of the second arc of Vinland Saga. So I reread these because I've already read them before, in order to do a review for the first 54 chapters, which are the war arc of the series. This is the first of 4 arcs that are supposed to be in the series. 3 of them have already been written, and I think Makoto Yukimura is currently working on the last one, assuming that he doesn't change his mind and makes more. But it's really good stuff. I had forgotten how action-packed and how cool this first part of the series is, and the turn Canute has, you know, halfway through the second volume is top tier. I love it. It's really interesting. Canute is such a good character. Torquil is so fun. Askeladd and Thorfinn are such good characters as well, and I'm excited to read more of it. And I'm probably going to end up reading the rest of Vinland Saga that I own before I go back to visit my parents on the 18th, which is this coming Saturday, so that I can have a second review, and so I don't have to carry those around with me, because I'm probably going to stay there for 2 months, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to end up going to Mexico at some point then. So, yeah, I don't know. That's all I've read this month. I hope you guys enjoyed the check-in video. Let me know what you guys have read so far. And, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you've been reading. And thank you guys very much for watching once again. See you guys later.